What if I told you that mastering self-discipline could revolutionize your life? In today's fast-paced world, we're constantly bombarded with distractions, temptations, and endless choices that can derail our focus and impede our personal growth. But what if there was a way to harness inner strength, cultivate resilience, and maintain unwavering focus on your goals? That's where the ancient wisdom of Stoic principles comes in. These timeless teachings offer a roadmap to developing self-discipline that can lead to a more balanced, fulfilling life. Imagine being able to navigate life's challenges with calmness, make decisions with clarity, and stay committed to your long-term aspirations. Stay with me until the end of this video as we explore how embracing these Stoic principles can transform your approach to self-discipline and help you achieve a level of personal mastery you never thought possible. The first principle involves controlling your emotions. Emotions can be powerful forces that shape our decisions and actions, often leading us astray if they are not managed properly. Stoics believe that by mastering our emotions, we can maintain inner peace and make decisions that align with our values and goals. Imagine a situation where you receive criticism at work. Your initial emotional response might be anger or defensiveness. However, by applying Stoic principles, you can take a step back, detach from those immediate emotions, and assess the criticism objectively. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can respond thoughtfully, using the feedback to improve and grow. Another example is dealing with unexpected setbacks. It's natural to feel frustrated or disappointed when things don't go as planned. But Stoicism teaches us to accept these setbacks as part of life and not let our emotions dominate our response. By maintaining a calm and balanced outlook, you can focus on finding solutions rather than dwelling on the problem. In everyday life, this might mean practicing mindfulness, taking deep breaths, or even journaling to process your emotions constructively. The key is to recognize and understand your emotions without letting them take control. By doing so, you create a foundation of inner stability, enabling you to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Remember, controlling your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them, but rather acknowledging and managing them in a way that serves your higher purpose. This practice of emotional mastery is fundamental to achieving self-discipline and leading a more harmonious life. The second principle involves focusing on what you can control. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, taught us that we should concern ourselves only with what is within our power to change and let go of everything else. This principle can be illustrated through humorous everyday situations. Picture yourself stuck in traffic on your way to an important meeting. Your initial reaction might be to fume at the car in front of you, honk your horn, or stress about being late. But what can you actually control in this situation? Certainly not the traffic. Instead, you can control your mindset and your actions. You might listen to an engaging podcast, practice deep breathing, or use the time to mentally prepare for your meeting. By focusing on what you can control, you not only reduce stress but also make the most of an otherwise frustrating situation. Another example could be dealing with a colleague who has a different working style. You might find their methods inefficient or bothersome, but you can't control their behavior. What you can control is how you choose to interact with them. Maybe you can adjust your approach, set clear boundaries, or find common ground to work more effectively together. This shift in focus can transform a potentially contentious relationship into a collaborative one. Imagine you ordered a meal at a restaurant and it arrives incorrect. Instead of getting upset and letting it ruin your dining experience, you can calmly inform the server about the mistake and patiently wait for it to be corrected. By controlling your reaction, you maintain a positive mood and enjoy your time, rather than letting an uncontrollable factor spoil it. These examples show the power of focusing on what you can control. It allows you to navigate through inconveniences with a sense of peace and effectiveness. It's a critical component of self-discipline that helps you remain composed in unpredictable situations. By embracing this principle, you can channel your energy towards productive actions rather than futile frustrations, ultimately leading to a more balanced and satisfied life. The third principle involves practicing negative visualization. This might sound counterintuitive at first, but hear me out. By mentally imagining worst-case scenarios, we can actually develop a deeper appreciation for what we have and prepare ourselves for life's inevitable challenges. Let's inject a bit of humor and relatability here. Imagine you're getting ready for a big presentation at work. Negative visualization would mean picturing all the things that could go wrong. Maybe your slides fail to load, you spill coffee on your shirt, or you completely forget what you were going to say. While it might seem like you're inviting disaster, what you're really doing is preparing yourself mentally. By considering these possibilities, you can plan ahead, bring a backup copy of your slides, carry an extra shirt, or practice your speech until it's second nature. This exercise reduces anxiety because you're ready for anything, making you more confident and adaptable. Another everyday example is planning a vacation. Negative visualization would have you think about missing your flight, losing your luggage, or encountering bad weather. While these thoughts might seem dreary, they push you to pack wisely, buy travel insurance, and check weather forecasts. Instead of being blindsided by mishaps, you become a proactive problem solver. In relationships, practicing negative visualization can make you cherish your loved ones more. Imagine how life would be different without your partner, friend, or family member. This thought can deepen your gratitude and make you more present and attentive in your interactions with them. Picture this: you plan a family picnic and you imagine rain, ants invading your food, or getting lost on the way. By considering these scenarios, you bring umbrellas, pack bug spray, and make sure your GPS is working. When everything goes smoothly, you appreciate the day even more, and if things do go wrong, you're ready to handle it with grace. The beauty of negative visualization is that it equips you to face adversity while fostering gratitude for the present. By imagining the worst, you prepare for the unexpected and learn to value what you currently have. This principle is a powerful tool for building resilience and enhancing your overall sense of well-being. It doesn't mean you're being pessimistic. Rather, you're aligning yourself with reality in a way that strengthens your mental fortitude. Incorporating this practice into your life can make you more adaptable, content, and appreciative of the moments that matter. The fourth principle involves embracing discomfort. Imagine yourself in your cozy living room on a cold winter day, snuggled up in your favorite blanket with a hot cup of cocoa. It's tempting to stay there all day, right? But think about the rewards of stepping out of that comfort zone. Maybe you join a fitness class or take a brisk walk outside. Yes, it's cold and initially uncomfortable, but your body gets stronger, your mood improves, and you feel a sense of accomplishment. Embracing discomfort is about recognizing that growth doesn't happen in our comfort zones. Picture this: you've always wanted to learn a new language, but the thought of making mistakes in front of others makes you nervous. By pushing past that discomfort and practicing regularly, even if you fumble at first, you gradually improve and open up a world of new opportunities and connections. Let's look at a workplace scenario. Imagine you avoid public speaking because it makes you anxious. By volunteering to give a presentation despite your nerves, you develop vital skills that can advance your career. Each time you step up to speak, it becomes a bit easier and you build confidence along the way. Now consider trying new foods. Maybe you've always stuck to what you know and love, but by daring to try exotic dishes, you might discover new flavors and cuisines that you enjoy. This small act of stepping out of your culinary comfort zone can lead to delightful surprises and enrich your dining experiences. Embracing discomfort is also crucial in personal development. Imagine you've been avoiding a difficult conversation with a friend or family member. It's uncomfortable, but by addressing the issue, you can resolve misunderstandings and strengthen your relationship. The discomfort is temporary, but the benefits are long-lasting. This principle is about recognizing that the path to improvement is often paved with challenges. Whether it's physical, emotional, or mental discomfort, each time you face it head-on, you grow stronger and more resilient. Think of it as training for a marathon. The early morning runs and muscle soreness are tough, but the finish line is worth it. Embracing discomfort is about understanding that life's best rewards often lie just beyond our comfort zones. By stepping into the unknown, we discover new strengths, develop new skills, and ultimately live more fulfilling lives. So, next time you face a moment of discomfort, remember that it's an opportunity for growth and embrace it with courage. The fifth principle involves understanding impermanence. In life, everything is temporary, and recognizing this can help us let go of attachments that often cause unnecessary suffering. Picture a beautiful flower in full bloom. It's a sight to behold, bright and vibrant, but you know that in a few days it will wither and fade. By appreciating its beauty in the moment without becoming overly attached to its existence, you can enjoy it fully while it lasts. Similarly, imagine having a beloved pet. You know that pets have a shorter lifespan than humans, which makes their time with us precious. By embracing the impermanence of their presence, you cherish every moment, creating lasting memories rather than focusing on the inevitable goodbye. Let's apply this to material possessions. Imagine you buy the latest smartphone. It's exciting and new, but a few years down the road, it becomes outdated. By understanding its temporary nature, you're less likely to become overly attached to it and more willing to part with it when necessary. This principle also applies to experiences. Think about a wonderful vacation. You know it won't last forever, which makes it even more important to savor every moment. Instead of feeling sad when it's over, you can carry the joy of those experiences with you, enhanced by the understanding that they were always meant to be temporary. Relationships, too, are subject to the law of impermanence. Friendships and romantic partnerships might shift and change over time. By recognizing this, you can appreciate the positive moments and lessons each relationship brings without clinging to the past or fearing the future. This doesn't mean that we should become detached or emotionally uninvolved, but rather that we should cultivate a healthy perspective that allows us to enjoy the present fully while being ready to move forward when things change. Consider a humorous example like your favorite pair of shoes. They might be comfortable and stylish, but eventually they will wear out. Instead of lamenting their worn state, you can appreciate the countless steps you took together and look forward to finding a new pair that will serve you well. Embracing impermanence helps us focus on the present and reduces anxiety about the future. It encourages us to value our experiences more deeply, knowing they are fleeting. This mindset can lead to a more balanced and peaceful life, where we savor the joys and handle the inevitable changes with grace. By understanding that everything is temporary, we can let go of unhealthy attachments and live with a sense of freedom and appreciation for the moments that truly matter. The sixth principle involves developing an internal locus of control. This concept is all about taking responsibility for your own life and recognizing that you have the power to influence your own destiny. Think about a time when you faced a challenging situation at work. Maybe a project went south or a team member didn't pull their weight. Instead of blaming external circumstances or other people, developing an internal locus of control means looking at what you can do to improve the situation. Perhaps you could have communicated more clearly, set firmer deadlines, or provided better support to your team member. By focusing on your own actions and choices, you empower yourself to make positive changes and learn from every experience. Let's switch gears with a light-hearted story. Imagine you're participating in a community bake-off. The day of the competition, you accidentally use salt instead of sugar in your famous chocolate cake recipe. Instead of shaking your fist at the baking gods or blaming your clumsy neighbor for the mix-up, you laugh it off and take responsibility. You might pack up, head to the store, and start over, or you could turn it into a funny anecdote to share with the judges. Either way, by owning your mistake, you turn a potential disaster into a memorable experience and maybe even a lesson in double-checking your ingredients next time. Consider another example in a personal fitness journey. If you're trying to get in shape but find yourself consistently falling off the wagon, it's easy to blame your hectic schedule, the weather, or tempting snacks in the kitchen. However, embracing an internal locus of control means acknowledging that you have the power to make time for exercise, plan healthier meals, and set realistic goals. By taking charge of your choices, you create a path to success that's within your control. Now, let's talk about relationships. Imagine you're always late to meet your friends, and one day they decide to have an intervention. Instead of blaming traffic or your busy schedule, owning up to your tardiness and understanding how your actions impact others is key. By taking responsibility, you not only improve your relationships but also demonstrate that you value your friends' time and effort. In a more humorous vein, let's say you're playing a board game with family and kids. Things get competitive and you end up losing. Rather than blaming bad luck or a rigged game, you can acknowledge where you might have made strategic errors. This not only shows good sportsmanship, but also teaches you and your children the value of learning from mistakes and trying again. By developing an internal locus of control, you're essentially saying, "I am the captain of my own ship." It means understanding that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. This mindset shift is incredibly powerful as it not only fosters resilience, but also a proactive attitude towards life's challenges. When you take ownership of your actions, you become more adaptable, resourceful, and ultimately more successful in achieving your goals. It's about recognizing your own agency and using it to shape a life that aligns with your values and aspirations. So, next time you're faced with a challenge, remember that you have the power to steer the course and make the best of any situation. The seventh principle involves being mindful of your thoughts. Our minds are constantly buzzing with thoughts, some helpful and others not so much. To maintain a clear and rational mind, it's critical to be aware of what occupies our mental space. Imagine your mind as a garden. If you let weeds grow unchecked, they'll take over and choke out the beautiful flowers. Similarly, negative and irrational thoughts can dominate your mind if left unchecked. Consider practical methods to keep your mental garden in bloom. First, practice mindfulness meditation. Picture yourself sitting quietly, focusing on your breath. When thoughts arise, simply observe them without judgment and let them pass like clouds in the sky. This practice helps you become more aware of your thought patterns and reduces the power of negative thinking. Another method is to challenge irrational thoughts. Imagine you have an important meeting and you're thinking, "I'm going to mess up." Instead of letting this thought take root, challenge it by asking, "What's the evidence for this? Have I succeeded in similar situations before?" By examining the validity of your thoughts, you prevent irrational fears from taking control. Let's add some humor. Picture yourself in a seemingly impossible situation, like being stuck in a long line at the grocery store. Your mind might start racing with frustration and impatience. Instead, use this as an opportunity to practice gratitude. Think of 3 things you're grateful for in that moment, maybe the friendly cashier, the interesting magazine covers, or the fact that you have time to plan dinner. Shifting your focus can turn a mundane moment into a mindful exercise. Humor can also be a fantastic tool to keep your thoughts in check. Imagine giving your inner critic a silly voice like a cartoon character. The next time you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," hear it in the voice of a comical character. This lightens the mood and helps you recognize how irrational and unhelpful these thoughts can be. Another practical tip is to set aside time for reflection. Picture ending your day with a moment of quiet reflection. Review the day's events and observe your thoughts and reactions. Did any particular thoughts dominate your mind? Were there moments when irrational thinking took over? By reflecting regularly, you become more attuned to your thought patterns and can make conscious efforts to steer them in a positive direction. Being mindful of your thoughts is like being a diligent gardener, constantly maintaining and nurturing your mental space. By practicing mindfulness, challenging irrational thoughts, using humor, and reflecting regularly, you cultivate a clear and rational mind. This principle not only fosters inner peace, but also enhances your ability to make decisions aligned with your true values and goals. Remember, your thoughts have a powerful influence on your actions. By keeping them in check, you can navigate life with greater clarity, resilience, and a sense of humor. This proactive approach to managing your thoughts paves the way for a more balanced and fulfilling life. The eighth principle involves practicing self-reflection. This is about taking time each day to look back at your actions, thoughts, and decisions with an objective eye. Think of it as having a daily meeting with yourself to review your progress and plan for improvements. Imagine it like this: you are both the coach and the player in your life's game. Just as a coach would review game footage and give feedback, you need to take a step back and evaluate your daily actions. Now, let's add some humor to make this process more enjoyable. Picture yourself sitting down with a cup of tea, having a conversation with your inner self. Maybe you even give your inner self a name. Let's call them Reflective Ronnie. Ask Ronnie how the day went, what went well, and what could have been handled better. It's like interviewing yourself, but in a light-hearted and constructive way. Imagine yourself brushing your teeth at the end of the day and mentally replaying the events of the day, like watching highlights of a sports game. Did you overreact to a minor inconvenience? Did you miss an opportunity to lend a helping hand? By gently critiquing these moments, you can develop strategies for better responses in the future. For example, if you snapped at a colleague, Reflective Ronnie might suggest taking a deep breath before reacting next time. This humorous self-dialogue can make the process feel less daunting and more engaging. To further lighten the mood, imagine keeping a self-reflection journal with a twist. Instead of just writing down your thoughts, you could draw funny doodles of the day's events or rate your performance with silly stickers like gold stars or thumbs up. This playful approach can make self-reflection feel less like a chore and more like a creative exercise. Another fun idea is to use the mirror technique. Stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself about the day's events. Pretend you're having a chat with a good friend who's understanding and non-judgmental. Laugh at your own mistakes and celebrate your victories, no matter how small. This can help make self-reflection a more dynamic and less intimidating activity. Incorporating self-reflection into your daily routine doesn't mean being overly critical or harsh on yourself. It's about understanding your actions and their impacts and finding ways to grow and improve. By doing this with a sense of humor, you create a positive feedback loop that encourages continuous self-improvement without the weight of negativity. Remember, self-reflection is a powerful tool for personal growth. It helps you recognize patterns, acknowledge your achievements, and identify areas for improvement. By making it a daily habit and adding a touch of humor, you turn self-assessment into an enjoyable and enlightening experience, paving the way for a more self-aware and disciplined life. The ninth principle involves cultivating gratitude. Picture this: you wake up and the sun is shining, the birds are singing, and you have a full day ahead. Instead of immediately diving into the stresses of your to-do list, you take a moment to appreciate the simple joys around you. This is the essence of gratitude. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you shift your mindset towards positivity and contentment. Imagine starting your day with a gratitude journal. Each morning, jot down 3 things you're thankful for. Maybe it's the warmth of your morning coffee, the smile from a loved one, or simply the fact that you have another day to pursue your passions. This simple practice sets a positive tone for the day, making you more resilient to challenges and less likely to get derailed by minor setbacks. Picture yourself stuck in a long line at the grocery store. Instead of fuming with impatience, you use this moment to mentally list things you're grateful for. Maybe it's the fact that you can afford groceries, the convenience of a nearby store, or even the catchy tune playing over the store's speakers. This shift in focus can turn an irritating situation into a moment of mindfulness and appreciation. Let's add a bit of humor. Imagine you spill your lunch all over your shirt at work. Instead of cursing your clumsiness, you laugh it off and think, well, at least I have another shirt in my bag. This ability to find gratitude in less than ideal situations lightens your mood and keeps you from spiraling into frustration. In relationships, practicing gratitude can make a significant difference. Picture yourself being grateful for the little acts of kindness your partner shows, like making your favorite meal or simply listening to your day. By vocalizing your appreciation often, you strengthen your bond and create a positive cycle of loving and supportive behavior. Think about your work environment. Instead of focusing on what your job lacks, you appreciate the aspects that you enjoy, whether it's your friendly colleagues, the interesting projects, or even the reliable coffee machine. This gratitude helps you stay motivated and disciplined even when facing tough tasks. Now, consider using gratitude as a tool to overcome procrastination. Imagine you have a daunting project ahead. Instead of dreading it, you shift your focus to being grateful for the opportunity to showcase your skills, the resources you have, and the potential growth this project offers. This makes it easier to dive in and stay committed. Cultivating gratitude isn't about ignoring life's difficulties, but about choosing to see the good amid the challenges. By consistently practicing gratitude, you form a habit of positive thinking that fosters inner peace and resilience. This positive outlook naturally leads to a more disciplined life, as you're able to focus on what truly matters and remain calm in the face of adversity. So, next time you find yourself grumbling about a tough day, take a moment to reflect on the blessings in your life. This simple practice can transform your mindset, making you more disciplined, content, and ready to tackle whatever comes your way. The 10th principle involves leading by example. Stoicism teaches us that setting a good example can have a profound impact on others and ourselves. Imagine you're at a family gathering and dinner is running late. The kids are restless and tensions are high. Instead of joining in the complaints, you stay calm, help out in the kitchen, and engage with the kids to keep them occupied. Your behavior sets a positive tone for the entire evening, diffusing stress and fostering a harmonious atmosphere. Another scenario could be at work. Picture a project deadline approaching and your team feeling overwhelmed. Rather than succumbing to the pressure, you remain composed and organized, offering support and encouragement to your colleagues. By leading with calm efficiency, you inspire your team to stay focused and work collaboratively, ultimately achieving the goal with less stress and more success. Let's add a bit of humor here. Imagine you're stuck in a long line at the coffee shop and everyone around you is grumbling and impatient. Instead of joining the grumbling choir, you strike up a light-hearted conversation with the person next to you or compliment the barista on their efficiency. Your positive demeanor can change the mood of the entire line, making the wait more enjoyable for everyone. At home, consider how leading by example can influence your children. Picture yourself picking up litter during a family walk in the park, even if it's not your trash. Your kids see this and learn the importance of taking care of the environment, likely adopting the same behavior in the future. Or imagine you're trying to instill healthy eating habits in your family. By actively choosing nutritious foods and showing enthusiasm for cooking balanced meals, you set a standard that encourages your loved ones to follow suit. Leading by example isn't just about grand gestures, it's about the small, everyday actions that reflect your values. Imagine you're an avid reader and you want to inspire your friends to read more. Instead of just recommending books, you bring a novel to social gatherings or suggest a book club. Your visible commitment to reading piques their interest and may prompt them to pick up a book themselves. Think about how you handle disagreements. If you consistently approach conflicts with patience, active listening, and a willingness to understand the other person's perspective, you demonstrate effective communication skills. Others will notice and likely mirror your approach, leading to more constructive and respectful interactions. Leading by example is also evident in how you manage your own emotions. Imagine you're facing a personal setback, like not getting a promotion you worked hard for. Instead of venting or complaining, you express gratitude for the opportunity and outline your plan to improve. Your resilience and positive attitude can inspire others to handle their own disappointments with grace and determination. By embodying the principles of Stoicism in your daily life, you naturally encourage others to do the same. Leading by example is about living your values openly and consistently, showing that it's possible to navigate life's ups and downs with integrity and poise. This not only enhances your own well-being but also positively influences those around you. So, whether you're at home, at work, or in the coffee shop line, remember that your actions speak volumes. By setting a good example, you lead others towards a path of self-discipline, resilience, and lasting fulfillment. The 11th principle involves staying true to your values. Imagine you're invited to a fancy dinner party where everyone is indulging in lavish foods and expensive wines. However, your personal values include living modestly and avoiding excess. Instead of succumbing to the peer pressure to join in, you stick to your principles and choose simpler, healthier options. Your decision not only aligns with your values but also demonstrates your self-discipline and inner strength. Picture a work scenario. Suppose you value honesty and transparency. One day, you're asked to cover up a mistake that wasn't your fault. Instead of going along with this unethical request, you choose to be honest and address the issue openly. While it might feel uncomfortable initially, your commitment to your values ultimately earns you respect and trust from your colleagues. This decision reflects your integrity and solidifies your reputation as a reliable and principled individual. Let's add a humorous example. Imagine you're at a friend's game night and everyone is cheating to win. You value fairness and honesty, so you decide to play by the rules even if it means losing the game. Your friends might tease you, but your integrity stands firm, making you the true winner in the long run. They might even start respecting the game more, following your lead and bringing more fun and fairness back into it. In relationships, staying true to your values can be crucial. Suppose you value kindness and empathy. In a heated argument with a loved one, instead of resorting to hurtful words or actions, you choose to communicate calmly and compassionately. This not only helps resolve the conflict constructively, but also strengthens your relationship, showcasing how adherence to values can foster harmony and understanding. Consider a community context. Imagine you're an advocate for environmental conservation. During a neighborhood meeting, there's a proposal to cut down trees for a new parking lot. Even if you're the only one opposing it, you stand up and voice your concerns because it aligns with your values. Your courage might inspire others to re-evaluate the proposal, leading to a solution that balances development with environmental preservation. Staying true to your values also applies to personal growth. Imagine you're committed to continuous learning and self-improvement. Despite a busy schedule, you prioritize reading, attending workshops, or developing new skills. Your dedication to personal development not only enhances your knowledge but also sets a positive example for those around you. It shows that staying true to your values can lead to a more fulfilling and enriched life. Think about a situation where equality and justice are core values for you. If you witness discrimination or unfair treatment, staying true to your values means speaking up and taking action, even if it's uncomfortable. This principle ensures that your actions are always aligned with what you believe in, fostering a sense of integrity and self-respect. Staying true to your values is like having a compass that guides your decisions and actions. It provides you with a sense of direction and purpose, even in challenging situations. By adhering to your values, you build a foundation of trust and respect with others, and most importantly, with yourself. This practice not only helps you navigate life's complexities with confidence and clarity, but also inspires others to live with integrity. So, next time you're faced with a choice, remember to hold onto your values. It's the key to living a life that is authentic, meaningful, and deeply satisfying. The 12th principle involves accepting failure as learning. In the eyes of the Stoics, failure isn't the end, but rather a stepping stone to growth. Imagine you're learning to play the guitar and you completely botch a chord during a practice session. Instead of getting frustrated and giving up, you laugh it off and recognize that each mistake is an opportunity to improve. Just as a child learns to walk by falling down and getting back up, your missteps are the teachers that guide you towards mastery. Picture a humorous scene where you're baking a cake for the first time and it turns out flat and inedible. Instead of swearing off baking forever, you take a moment to chuckle at the disaster, then analyze what went wrong. Maybe you forgot to add baking powder or mixed the ingredients incorrectly. By viewing this failure as a learning experience, you gain valuable insights, tweak your approach, and eventually bake a delicious cake. This light-hearted perspective transforms a potential setback into a fun and educational opportunity. Now think about a workplace scenario. Imagine you spearheaded a project that didn't yield the expected results. Rather than seeing this as a personal defeat, you approach it as a learning experience. You gather feedback, review what worked and what didn't, and use this knowledge to refine your strategies for future projects. This mindset not only enhances your skills, but also fosters a culture of growth and resilience among your team. Let's add a bit of humor here. Picture yourself trying to fix a leaky faucet at home, but despite your efforts, water sprays everywhere, soaking you from head to toe. Instead of getting angry, you laugh at the scene, understanding that failure is part of the learning curve. You watch a few more tutorials, perhaps call a friend for advice, and eventually fix the faucet. This playful attitude makes the process enjoyable and less daunting. In relationships, the same principle applies. Imagine you try to surprise your partner with a romantic dinner, but everything that could go wrong does go wrong. The food burns, the power goes out, and the evening feels ruined. Instead of dwelling on the mishaps, you both laugh about it and turn the evening into an adventure. These shared failures become cherished memories and teach you how to better plan for future surprises. Picture another example where you're learning to ride a bike for the first time. You fall multiple times, scrape your knees, and maybe even get a few bruises. Each fall teaches you how to balance better, how to steer more effectively, and how to gain confidence. The journey of falling and getting back up is where real learning happens, and it makes the moment you finally ride without falling all the more triumphant. Consider a professional athlete who misses the winning shot in a crucial game. Instead of letting this failure define them, they review the game footage, identify areas for improvement, and practice even harder. Each missed shot becomes a lesson, driving them towards greatness. This relentless pursuit of improvement, fueled by learning from failure, is what separates the good from the great. In a more relatable, everyday scenario, imagine you're trying to cook a new recipe and it turns out terrible. The vegetables are overcooked, the sauce is bland, and the dish is nearly inedible. Instead of feeling defeated, you analyze what went wrong. Maybe you cooked the vegetables for too long or used too little seasoning. By understanding your mistakes, you learn how to adjust and improve the recipe next time, turning a culinary failure into a stepping stone for future success. The Stoics teach us that failure is not something to fear but to embrace. It's through our failures that we grow, adapt, and ultimately succeed. By viewing failures as valuable lessons, we develop resilience and a growth mindset. This principle encourages us to face challenges with courage and optimism, knowing that each setback is a setup for a comeback. So, next time you face a failure, remember to accept it with grace and learn from it. It's a vital step on the path to self-discipline and personal mastery. The 13th principle involves practicing voluntary poverty. This concept, often championed by the Stoics, encourages us to live simply and appreciate life without the excessive pursuit of material wealth. Imagine deciding to spend a week living with only the essentials. Instead of dining at fancy restaurants, you cook simple meals at home. Rather than filling your evenings with expensive entertainment, you enjoy a book or take a walk in the park. This exercise teaches you to find contentment in simplicity and fosters a sense of gratitude for what you already have, enhancing your self-discipline. Picture yourself in a light-hearted scenario where you've chosen to live without your usual luxuries for a month. You trade your daily gourmet coffee for a humble homemade brew. Initially, it might feel like a downgrade, but soon you start to notice the charm in making your own coffee, the satisfaction in saving money, and the joy in a simpler routine. This practice of voluntary poverty not only saves your wallet but also cultivates a stronger sense of self-discipline as you learn to thrive without constant indulgence. Consider another amusing anecdote. Imagine you're used to having the latest gadgets, but for a month you challenge yourself to use only what is absolutely necessary. Instead of streaming the newest shows on a high-definition television, you read a book by the cozy light of a lamp. Instead of relying on a dishwasher, you wash your dishes by hand. This voluntary simplification of your life might seem inconvenient at first, but you soon discover unexpected pleasures in these small, mindful tasks. By living with less, you develop a greater appreciation for the essentials and a deeper understanding of what truly brings you joy. Now, let's think about the impact of voluntary poverty on your social life. Imagine organizing a potluck dinner with friends where everyone brings a homemade dish instead of opting for a lavish night out. The evening is filled with laughter, shared stories, and delicious meals made with care. You realize that the richness of your social interactions comes not from the expense of the setting, but from the genuine connections and shared experiences. This principle helps you see that the value of your relationships isn't tied to how much money you spend, but to the quality time you share. Living simply can also make you more resourceful. Imagine a scenario where you decide to skip buying new clothes for a year. Instead, you mix and match your existing wardrobe in creative ways. Not only do you save money, but you also develop a unique sense of style and an appreciation for the versatility of what you already own. This challenge enhances your self-discipline by teaching you to make the most of what you have rather than constantly seeking new acquisitions. Picture this: you're used to having a packed, high-energy schedule filled with various activities. Practicing voluntary poverty could mean taking a step back and finding joy in slow, mindful living. You might spend an afternoon gardening, meditating, or simply enjoying a quiet cup of tea. These moments of simplicity allow you to reconnect with yourself and with the world around you in a more profound way. By stripping away the non-essential, you gain clarity and focus, enhancing your self-discipline. By practicing voluntary poverty, you learn to live with intention and mindfulness. This principle encourages you to focus on what truly matters, stripping away the distractions of material excess. It enhances your self-discipline by teaching you to appreciate the simple pleasures in life and to find contentment in what you already have. This practice isn't about deprivation, but about discovering the richness of a life lived simply and authentically. So, next time you find yourself caught in the chase for more, consider taking a step back and embracing the wisdom of voluntary poverty. You might be surprised at the profound sense of fulfillment and self-discipline it brings. The 14th principle involves building resilience. In a world that constantly throws curveballs our way, mental resilience becomes an essential skill. Imagine you're playing in a soccer match and your team is down by a few goals. Rather than giving up, you dig deep, encourage your teammates, and push through to the end. This tenacity in the face of adversity showcases resilience. It's about bouncing back from setbacks and finding ways to move forward despite challenges. Picture a humorous scenario where you're trying to learn to juggle. On your first few attempts, the balls go everywhere but where they should. Instead of getting frustrated, you laugh it off, pick them up, and try again. Each time you drop a ball, you learn a bit more about timing and coordination. This light-hearted persistence demonstrates how resilience is developed through practice and a positive attitude toward failure. Consider another example. You're working on a demanding project at work and hit a major roadblock. Instead of seeing this as a dead end, you view it as an opportunity to innovate. You gather your team, brainstorm new ideas, and come up with a creative solution. This ability to adapt and find new paths is a cornerstone of resilience. It's not about never facing difficulties, but about how you handle them when they arise. Let's add more humor to resilience training. Picture yourself trying to assemble a complex piece of furniture using confusing instructions. Each time you think you've got it right, something wobbles or doesn't fit. Instead of tearing your hair out, you take a break, maybe watch a funny video to lighten your mood, and then return to the task with a fresh perspective. This balance of perseverance and knowing when to step back and regroup is key to building resilience. In personal relationships, resilience also plays a crucial role. Imagine you have a disagreement with a close friend. Instead of letting it fester, you approach the situation with honesty and a willingness to listen. Through open communication and understanding, you work through the conflict and come out with a stronger bond. This resilience in relationships means facing challenges head-on and growing from them together. Consider another practical tip for building resilience: self-care. Imagine yourself after a tough day at work. Instead of turning to unhealthy coping mechanisms, you choose activities that nourish your mind and body, like taking a walk in nature, reading a good book, or practicing meditation. These actions recharge your mental batteries and prepare you to handle future stressors more effectively. Resilience is also about maintaining a sense of humor even in difficult times. Picture yourself in a seemingly endless meeting that's dragging on. Instead of getting irritated, you might crack a light joke to ease the tension and keep the atmosphere positive. This ability to find humor in challenging situations helps you stay grounded and keep stress at bay. Imagine you're training for a marathon and halfway through your training plan, you sprain your ankle. Instead of giving up on your goal, you shift your focus to what you can do, maybe swimming or cycling, to maintain your fitness while your ankle heals. This adaptability and determination to keep moving forward despite setbacks exemplifies resilience. Building resilience is about developing a toolkit of strategies to handle life's ups and downs. By fostering a positive mindset, practicing self-care, maintaining humor, and finding adaptable solutions to problems, you strengthen your mental fortitude. This principle encourages you to view challenges not as insurmountable obstacles but as opportunities for growth and learning. Resilience doesn't mean you won't face difficulties. It means you'll be better equipped to handle them with grace and strength. So, next time life throws you a curveball, remember that each challenge is a chance to build your resilience and emerge even stronger. The 15th principle involves fostering patience. Patience is a vital trait in Stoicism, helping us to remain calm and composed in the face of delays, adversity, and frustration. Imagine you're at an airport and your flight is delayed for hours. Instead of fuming over the situation, you take a deep breath and remind yourself that patience is a virtue cultivated by the Stoics. You might use this time to read a book, meditate, or even strike up a friendly conversation with a fellow traveler. By staying patient, you turn a potentially stressful situation into an opportunity for relaxation and connection. Picture a humorous everyday scenario. You're baking a batch of cookies and you have to wait for them to cool before taking a bite. Instead of impatiently burning your tongue, you distract yourself by doing a little happy dance around the kitchen or calling a friend to catch up. This light-hearted approach not only makes the wait more enjoyable, but also teaches you to appreciate the process and the reward that comes from being patient. Consider another example in the context of personal goals. Imagine you're training for a marathon, but progress is slow, and you're not hitting your targets as quickly as you'd like. Instead of feeling frustrated, you practice patience, understanding that building endurance takes time. Each step, no matter how small, is a step towards your goal. By fostering patience, you stay committed and motivated, knowing that perseverance pays off in the end. Let's add a bit of humor here. Picture yourself waiting in a notoriously slow line at the DMV. Instead of getting irritated, you play a game in your mind, like imagining what superpower each person in line might have based on their appearance. This playful mental exercise turns a tedious wait into a fun and imaginative experience, highlighting how patience can be cultivated through creativity. In relationships, patience is equally important. Imagine you're teaching your partner to play a new board game and they're struggling to grasp the rules. Instead of getting impatient, you calmly and supportively guide them through each step, celebrating their progress. This approach not only makes the learning experience more pleasant for both of you, but also strengthens your bond as you navigate the challenge together with patience. Consider a professional setting where patience can be cultivated. Imagine you're working on a long-term project that requires meticulous attention to detail. Instead of rushing through it, you take your time to ensure each aspect is carefully completed. By practicing patience, you produce high-quality work and develop a reputation for diligence and reliability. Think about fostering patience in your daily routine. Imagine you're trying to grow a garden and the plants aren't sprouting as quickly as you hoped. Instead of giving up or getting frustrated, you patiently tend to the garden, watering and nurturing the plants with care. Over time, your patience is rewarded with a beautiful and thriving garden. This principle teaches you to trust the process and understand that worthwhile results often take time to materialize. Let's add a humorous twist to an everyday scenario. Picture yourself waiting for your favorite TV show to release a new season. Instead of anxiously checking for updates every day, you challenge yourself to learn a new skill or hobby during the wait. Maybe you pick up knitting and end up with a cozy scarf by the time the new season airs. This practice not only cultivates patience but also fills your time with productive and enjoyable activities. Fostering patience is about embracing life's natural rhythms and understanding that not everything happens on our preferred timeline. By practicing patience, you develop a deeper sense of calm and resilience, enabling you to handle delays and setbacks with grace. This principle encourages you to find joy in the journey rather than fixating solely on the destination. So, next time you find yourself in a situation that tests your patience, remember that each moment of waiting is an opportunity to cultivate this essential Stoic trait, ultimately leading to a more balanced and fulfilled life. The 16th principle involves modern application, figuring out how to integrate these 15 Stoic principles into your daily life for maximum impact, complete with practical and fun examples. Imagine beginning your day with a clear intention, focusing on the principles of controlling your emotions and being mindful of your thoughts. You wake up and meditate for a few minutes, acknowledging any initial stress or anxiety and gently letting those thoughts pass. This practice sets a calm and focused tone for your day, helping you tackle challenges with a clear mind. Picture yourself on your morning commute. Instead of getting frustrated by traffic, you practice controlling what you can and focusing on what you can control. You might listen to an inspiring podcast or practice deep breathing exercises. This transforms a potentially stressful situation into a productive and peaceful start to your day. Let's add some humor. Imagine you're at a dinner party and the main dish is something you've never tried before. By embracing discomfort and staying true to your values, you decide to give it a try. You might fumble with the chopsticks or make a funny face at the new flavor, but you approach it with a light-hearted attitude, open to new experiences. Picture a scenario at work. You've just received critical feedback on a project. Instead of letting your emotions take over, you practice emotional mastery by taking a deep breath and viewing the feedback objectively. You thank your colleague for their input and note down areas for improvement. This approach not only helps you grow but also showcases your professionalism and self-discipline. Imagine ending your day with a session of self-reflection, just like a coach reviewing game footage. You sit down with a cup of tea and reflective Ronnie, your inner self, reviewing the day's highs and lows. Maybe you even doodle funny moments in your journal, turning the process into a creative and enjoyable activity. Let's look at integrating the principle of gratitude. Picture yourself standing in a long line at the grocery store. Instead of grumbling, you mentally list 3 things you're grateful for: the colorful produce, the friendly cashier, or the catchy tune playing overhead. Shifting your focus to gratitude transforms the wait into a moment of mindfulness and appreciation. Think about social interactions. Imagine you're at a game night where everyone seems to be bending the rules. By staying true to your values of fairness and honesty, you play by the rules and even add some humor to the mix. Hey guys, I'm not saying I'm losing because I'm honest, but maybe your stance and humor bring integrity and fun back to the game. Consider applying voluntary poverty in a fun way. Imagine you challenge your family to a simple living weekend. No gadgets or fancy meals, just homemade food, board games, and outdoor activities. This break from the usual routine not only saves money but also brings you closer together, fostering gratitude and self-discipline. Picture practicing negative visualization with a humorous twist. You're planning an outdoor event, and you playfully imagine scenarios like your hat flying off or a bird stealing your sandwich. By prepping for these disasters, you pack extra hats and keep your food covered. This fun exercise ensures you're ready for anything, reducing anxiety and making the event more enjoyable. Integrate practicing patience into your exercise routine. Imagine you're training for a race and progress seems slow. Instead of getting frustrated, you remind yourself that endurance builds over time. Each run, no matter how challenging, is a step toward your goal. By fostering patience, you maintain motivation and celebrate small victories. Picture applying self-reflection at the end of a family day out. You gather everyone and reflective Ronnie for a fun debrief. So, who thought getting lost in the park was the highlight? This light-hearted review helps everyone learn from the day's adventures and appreciate the moments together. Imagine using humor to foster resilience. You're tackling a home improvement project and nothing is going as planned. Instead of getting upset, you laugh at the mess and take a goofy selfie to remember the chaos. This playful attitude helps you stay positive and resourceful. By integrating these Stoic principles into your modern life with practical and fun examples, you create a robust framework for self-discipline and resilience. Each principle offers valuable lessons, and by applying them creatively, you make personal growth an enjoyable and sustainable journey. This holistic approach not only enhances your well-being but also positively impacts those around you. So start each day with a Stoic mindset, embrace challenges with humor and grace, and watch as your life transforms in meaningful ways. In summary, mastering self-discipline with these 15 Stoic principles can profoundly change your life. By controlling your emotions, focusing on what you can control, practicing negative visualization, embracing discomfort, understanding impermanence, developing an internal locus of control, being mindful of your thoughts, practicing self-reflection, cultivating gratitude, leading by example, staying true to your values, accepting failure as learning, practicing voluntary poverty, building resilience and fostering patience, you can navigate life's challenges with clarity and resilience. Take it one step at a time. Start by incorporating just one principle into your daily routine. Maybe begin with controlling your emotions or practicing gratitude. The key is to start small and build from there. Remember, even small changes can lead to significant transformations over time. Keep it light-hearted and fun, and don't be too hard on yourself. You're on a journey of growth and self-improvement. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and here's to a more disciplined and fulfilling life.